The court of the Lorien Star Empire shimmered with silver columns and floating lanterns that glowed like drifting moons. On this day, the palace was filled with whispers. The royal banners hung high. The rings of the planet beyond the transparent ceiling shone in pale blue light. And in the center of it all stood Princess Lyra, heir to the vast empire of worlds. She carried herself with calm grace. Her silver hair fell in soft waves down her shoulders. Her eyes shimmered with a cool blue glow that reflected her heritage. She was about to marry a human. The court had never seen a human up close before. The Empire knew humans only through distant reports, almost treated like myths. Strange creatures who rose from a single world, yet pushed back threats older species feared. They were described as curious, bold, sometimes stubborn, often peaceful unless pushed. Their abilities were not fully understood. For this reason, the Empire believed a human would be a gentle diplomatic choice, a soft alliance, a harmless bridge between galaxies. That belief had been shaped by the man standing near the altar. His name was Adrian Dot. He looked calm, his hair dark, his posture straight. He bowed often and spoke little. No display of power, no air of strength. He carried no armor, no weapon. To the court, he appeared almost fragile beside the tall Lorien guards, who wore glowing armor and carried polished spears that hummed with plasma. Lyra herself had agreed to the marriage out of duty. She was not opposed to humans, but she expected someone quiet and mild, someone who would pose no challenge to the royal court, someone she could guide easily. At first glance, Adrian fit that assumption. He walked with simple steps. His face held a peaceful expression. His voice remained steady. He showed no ambition to affect the throne. The Empire assumed he was chosen because humans valued peace and dialogue. Yet there was more beneath that calm surface. The royal guests watched as he approached Lyra at the ceremonial platform. The platform floated above the palace floor. Beneath it shimmered the royal crest, formed from drifting light fragments that shifted with every breath of the Empire itself. When Adrian reached her side, he bowed his head once. Only once. The gesture held a steadiness that made several guards glance at one another. Lyra sensed something too. Something not threatening, but firm, solid. The air around him felt controlled. Still, she dismissed the thought. The ceremony continued with ritual words spoken in the ancient tongue. The Empress, Lyra's mother, watched from her throne. Her gaze moved between the two with silent calculation. She had always studied people the way others studied maps. Quietly, precisely. After the vows, the Empress stepped forward and placed a silver crest on both their hands. The marriage bond shimmered with light, and the palace erupted in cheers. The Empire believed its alliance with humanity was sealed. But the Empress noticed something in the way Adrian stood, the weight of his stance, the calm readiness of someone who could move the moment danger called. Her eyes narrowed. She sensed a warrior. The wedding feast stretched long into the night. Tables circled the hall. Floating dishes spun above the surface and released soft scents of fruit, spices, and warm bread. Lanterns drifted among the guests. Soft music played from crystal instruments shaped like spirals. Lyra greeted nobles. Adrian remained nearby, moving quietly. He tasted the food. He responded politely to everyone. But he never lost awareness of the hall. When Lyra finally had a quiet moment, she turned to him. "You do not seem overwhelmed," she said. "Should I be?" he asked. "This hall is one of the largest in the whole Empire." "It is impressive," he said. "Sound calm," she replied. "I am calm," he answered. She studied him. His voice held no arrogance, no discomfort, only control. She wondered again if her first judgment had been wrong. Before she could ask more, a sudden tremor shook the hall. A guard shouted. Shields breached. The floating lanterns flickered. The hall darkened. A pulse of red light spread across the ceiling. Something hammered against the outer walls of the palace. Guests screamed. The music shattered into silence. Lyra reached for Adrian without thinking. Voice echoed through the hall from the communication crystals mounted high. Unknown raiders attacking the palace. All units prepare. The Empire had enemies, old and bitter. Some were jealous of their power. Others hated their rule. Today, one of those forces arrived without warning. The nobles panicked. The guards formed lines. Lyra stepped forward to help direct the defense. But before she could speak, Adrian touched her arm. Stay behind the pillar, he said. She blinked. Why? Because you will be targeted first, he said. She frowned. Adrian, you are not trained for combat. You are here as a diplomatic spouse. He gave a small nod. I understand. Then stay here, she insisted. I cannot, he said. And then the outer wall burst open with a thunderclap of shattered crystal. A group of armored raiders stormed into the hall. Their armor glowed red. Their blades sparked with charged metal. They moved with precision toward the princess. Several Lorien guards rushed forward. But before anyone else could reach the center of the hall, Adrian stepped past Lyra. He walked forward with steady steps. The raiders spotted him. They assumed he was defenseless, a human without armor. They rushed without caution. Lyra shouted at him to return. He did not stop. Instead, he placed one hand behind his back and drew something from a hidden sheath. A small metallic hilt, unmarked, simple, but when he pressed a switch, a blade of pure white energy extended from it. The hall glowed from its brilliance. Every guard froze. Every noble gasped. Lyra stared in disbelief. She had believed he carried no weapon. She had believed he was gentle. The blade said otherwise. Adrian moved with fluid speed. The first raider swung a heavy charged blade. Adrian stepped aside with minimal motion and struck once across the raider's arm. The raider fell in shock. The wound was clean, not brutal. Non-lethal, controlled. The second raider lunged. Adrian spun and redirected the strike. His blade flashed again. Another attacker fell. The guards stared. They had never seen a human fight. They had never seen such precision, such restraint, such power held in perfect balance. Lyra's breath caught. She realized the calm he carried was not softness. It was discipline. He fought like someone who had trained for years. Someone who understood conflict deeply. Someone who knew when to strike and when to hold back. The remaining raiders hesitated. Their courage faltered. They did not know how to match him. Adrian stepped forward and raised his blade to guard the princess. He did not roar. He did not threaten. He simply stood. The raiders fell back, trying to retreat. But the allied guards recovered and moved in to secure the hall. The remaining attackers surrendered. Silence spread through the palace. Adrian closed the blade and placed the hilt at his belt. As if nothing had happened, Lyra stared at him. You hid this, she said softly. He nodded. Once, you trained for this, she added. Yes, he said, and you never told anyone. She said. No one asked, he answered. The Empress approached slowly. The guards cleared a path for her. Her gaze remained firm on Adrian. You fought with skill beyond any report we have ever received, the Empress said. I trained for peace, Adrian replied. But peace does not always appear when called. What are you? The Empress asked. A soldier, he said. Lyra inhaled sharply. She turned to him in full disbelief. A soldier. Humans told us they sent you as a peace envoy. A gentle representative. someone who would speak for calm alliances. They did, he said. And yet they sent a warrior, the Empress said. They sent both, Adrian replied. Because peace held without strength is fragile. The Empress studied him. A long moment passed. You protected my daughter, she said. I protected my partner, Adrian replied. Not out of duty to the Empire, the Empress asked. No, he said. Out of a promise. Lyra felt her heartbeat shift. For the first time she saw him not as a quiet guest from another world, but as someone far larger than that. A man who carried strength with humility, power without pride, resolve without cruelty. He was not gentle because he lacked force. He was gentle because he controlled it. The Empress nodded. Then you shall stand at her side, she said. Guards bowed. Nobles lowered their heads. Lyra stepped closer to Adrian. You kept your blade hidden, she said quietly. I hoped I would. Never need it, he said. And if I had never seen this side of you, she asked, you still would have been safe, he said. She felt a warmth build inside her. Something new, something steady. Adrian, she said. You surprised everyone. I know, he said. She smiled softly. And I think you will surprise this empire again. Days passed, and the news of the attack spread through the empire. More importantly, the story of how one human defended the royal court reached distant worlds. Many were astonished. Some questioned how humans could possess such skill. Others admired the strength. But inside the palace, something changed. Lyra walked with Adrian more often. She spoke with him during long evenings on the balcony. She learned about human history, their struggles, their battles, their values. He explained that humans were not relentless warriors, as some legends said, nor were they weak diplomats, as others believed. They were something in between, a species that learned through challenge, evolved through hardship, grew through unity, and carried resilience in their hearts. The more she learned, the more she understood why his calm had felt different. It was the calm of someone who had already weathered storms, someone who had chosen peace again and again, despite knowing the weight of conflict.